Dad surprises daughter with car and discovers haunting secret about its past. Getting a new car is a huge purchase. And because of that, it is normal that you expect the new vehicle to be flawless. However, not all car sellers are honest with you, and these deals may sometimes lead to fraud. Kevin Duke, a single dad from New York City, decided to surprise his turning 16 daughter with a new car. He did extended research to find the perfect one for his beloved daughter. Kevin found a good-looking car, but he didn't know that it was previously owned by a mysterious woman and had a haunting past. Kevin Duke wanted to buy a new car for his one and only daughter, who was just turning 16. As a single dad, he had to save money for several months to make that huge of a purchase. Also, he had seen her struggle after the divorce from her mother, so all he wanted was to make her happy again. What he didn't know is that this decision would forever change the course of their lives. Kevin is one of those parents that you genuinely admire. He got a divorce from his wife, but never missed a moment being by Jada's side. Her special day was coming up, and she had also recently got her driver's license. Kevin was so proud, and he wanted to surprise Jada with her own car. Never in his wildest dreams would he expect to find this thing inside the vehicle he chose. Jada had always been kind and humble as a child. She never made any complaints about the divorce, never got mad at her parents. The devoted father knew that a car would be exactly what would make Jada the happiest, so he started searching for a vehicle online. And that was something he would deeply regret later. Jada had told Kevin what kind of car she liked, which made it much easier for Kevin to decide. After all, that was the least she deserved. Kevin visited several car shops, and he found the perfect one for Jada. At that point, Kevin didn't know the vehicle's dark past. Jada's birthday was celebrated with a big party with lots of friends and family members. And it was time for Kevin to reveal the huge gift to Jada. As soon as she saw the car, she got emotional. She hugged Kevin with tears running from her eyes. This car was more than just a vehicle to Jada. She was the happiest she had ever been, but that was about to change very soon. Both Jada and Kevin hopped into the car to take the first ride together. That was such a valuable moment for both. They had been through a lot together, and this new vehicle meant the world to them. This loving moment was destroyed when Kevin found a weird envelope inside the car's glove box. As soon as Kevin opened the glove box, he realized there was something strange in there. He took a better look and realized there was an envelope addressed to the new car owner. His curiosity was so big that he immediately tore the envelope apart and pulled the letter out. When he started reading the letter, his jaw dropped. Kevin was shocked the whole time he was reading that strange letter, and so was Jada. She had never seen her dad so upset. There was something severe going on there. And it was going to destroy Jada's birthday. The poor dad was shaking while he was finishing the letter. There was nothing wrong with the car, but the previous owner revealed the car's haunting past that tore Kevin apart. This car holds a lot of special memories for me. My home and everything in it is gone. This car is all that I had left to touch, revealed the woman who wrote the letter. Kevin was devastated, and what he read next got him in his feelings. My family filled this car with lots of love. I know it's just a car for you, but it is much more to me, wrote the poor woman. Kevin, realizing how important was that car to that woman, felt overwhelmed. He would never want to take a car with such an emotional value away from someone. Both Kevin and Jada were heartbroken. But there was more they needed to know about the previous owner. The previous owner was a woman with a very dark past. The letter she wrote and left to the car was not to make the new owner feel bad. Her goal was to point out how important this vehicle was for her. All she wanted was that the new owners would take care of this car. But what really happened to her, and why was it so special? This car was full of memories. Many people have laughed, cried, hugged, kissed, slept, and sang in there. A whole family used this car, and they created unique memories because of it. Then why did they sell it? Kevin lost it when he realized the real reason. The very first day Mom got this car, we all rode around, and Dr. Hook Sylvia's mother came on the radio. The name kind of just stuck when my daughter said that's what we should name the car. It all started to make sense to Kevin now. He just wished that he had misread something, yet the next few sentences broke him to pieces. The writer behind the touching letter shared the real reason she had to sell the car in the last sentences of the note. Her mother, daughter, and aunt died because of a house fire. These were the most important people in her life, they were angels to her. And they were all gone. At that point, she had nothing in life except for one thing. This poor woman lost her family, and she also lost her house because of the fire. Everything was lost. Her people, her own stuff, money, she had nothing. This car was the only thing left of them. Keeping this car was the only way to keep a part of them. But life surprised her once more. Not long after the accident, the little girl's school that lost her life organized a charity event in her memory. That was heartwarming, but the pain could not be taken away. The school knew this woman's financial problems, so they helped her raise some money to help. But it was not enough. Not only did this woman had to face the death of her mother, daughter, and aunt, but she also had to deal with the financial problems that emerged. She was in so much pain when this one last thing came to destroy her completely. After losing all of her stuff, this poor woman lived a tragedy. She had no home, no one to help her, and now she was about to lose the only thing that was left, the car. That was the moment she felt completely helpless, unable to continue her life. She had to sell this car to save herself and her youngest daughter. Kevin lost it after finding out about this woman's past. Never in his wildest dreams would he imagine that this car would have such a dark story. His good heart pushed him to do the right thing, to search for this woman. She needed someone's support and she was getting it from a complete stranger. Kevin spent weeks searching for the poor woman. He was determined to find her and help in any possible way. And he did it. He found that the woman's name that left this heartbreaking letter was Sabrina Archie. He also found out what could really change Sabrina's life. And he was the one he could help. Kevin got in touch with Sabrina and she revealed that she would want the car back one day. She made it clear that she could not afford it yet because she had to pay for 3 funerals, but hopefully she would be in a better financial position soon. Thankfully for Sabrina, Sylvia the car was in good hands. She was lucky enough to communicate with Kevin and Jada, who reassured her that they would take care of this car. After that day, Sabrina's life changed. Her faith in humanity was restored. Kevin decided to share Sabrina's story on Facebook. He was stunned by Sabrina's strength and he felt she needed some recognition. His post did not get any like the first hour. The next day, he rechecked the post. His Facebook post blew up overnight and it was now viral. Kevin got emotional because he knew how happy Sabrina would be. But he then noticed a weird message in his inbox. A stranger called Tammy Warrington messaged Kevin, saying how moved she was by Sabrina's story. She also had 2 children, plus she had recently lost her mother too. She could get in Sabrina's shoes and feel her pain, so she decided to help in any way possible. And what she did was out of this world. Tammy reached out to Kevin and Jada to ask for more information. She was determined to make Sabrina's life better. From the beginning, she knew exactly what she had to do actually to help the poor woman. Both Tammy and Kevin had this great idea of raising money by a fundraising campaign. That way, she could afford to get back the last piece of her family, Sylvia, the car. Sitting down together, Tammy and Kevin raised more than $12,000 to give Sabrina to repurchase the car and pay her taxes. Without further ado, Tammy, Kevin, and Jada drove all the way to Sabrina's house to surprise her and give her the car back. That moment was full of emotion. At first, Sabrina didn't believe that some strangers would do that for her. During the darkest times of her life, some random people made her smile after months of not smiling. And that was priceless. After that day, a new friendship began. Tammy, Kevin, and Sabrina realized they had more in common than they thought. Sabrina had now her car back, plus 2 new friends for life. She never thought that after such tragic events in her life, she would never feel lucky again. But thanks to these 2 people's kind hearts, she managed to live life again. Sabrina was hurt and miserable before all that happened. Life took her everything he had, even the last thing that linked her to her family, her car. Her idea of leaving a touching letter inside the vehicle was genius, and thanks to that, she managed to get her car back and also make 2 new friends. We are all so happy to hear that there was a happy end to this story. Tammy Warrington approached Sabrina via Kevin, and the 2 women had a very personal talk. It was the first time after the accident that Sabrina felt like she could trust that woman. Her genuine interest and kindness were heartwarming, and Sabrina was grateful. However, he never imagined what Tammy would do for her.